All right, let's talk about what's actually happening in Big Bear Lake real estate market as we moved through April and are going into May. Because if you are watching the market right now, it probably feels a little inconsistent. You'll see some homes sitting on the market for months and then others go pending quickly, and it creates this question: what's actually going on? And the reality is the market isn't unpredictable, it's just very selective. We are in a market right now that is rewarding discipline. It's rewarding accurate pricing, strong presentation, and clear value, and it's exposing everything else. Inventory is still elevated. There are a lot of homes on the market, and that creates real competition. Buyers are not in a rush, and they don't have to be. When they're scrolling through listings, they're not comparing one or two options. They're comparing sometimes 20, 30, sometimes even more. And because of that, they're very selective. If something doesn't feel right immediately, they move on. Now you can see that clearly when you break the market down by price range. Let's start at the lower end because this is where we're still seeing a lot of movement. You've got properties like 437 Boothway at $275,000 and 236 Zaca around $325,000. That feels accessible for a lot of people, and that matters a lot right now. Buyers at that level feel like they're getting in without overextending. So even if the home needs a little bit of work, the pricing creates momentum. That's what I would call a value-driven segment of the market. When pricing feels right, activity will follow. Now, as you move up into the middle of the market, everything changes. There is a heavy concentration of homes between $350,000 and $550,000. And this is where things slow down, not because demand disappears, but because competition increases. You've got listings like 1030 Jasper Drive at $449,000 and 924 Michael at $475,000, sitting right in that range. And again, there's nothing wrong with these homes. The issue is that they're surrounded by similar inventory. Same price range, similar size, similar condition. So from a buyer's perspective, there's no urgency. If they don't love it, they don't stretch for it. They just move on to the next one. That's one of the biggest shifts that we've seen, choosing between them. Now let's bring in the solid data because this is where things get really clear. You've got properties like 665 Metcalf Lane closing around $391,000 and 605 Keenway right around $395,000. When you move up slightly and you see something like 561 San Bernardino Avenue selling around $443,500, that gives you a real snapshot of where the market is actually landing. So when buyers are looking at homes listed at $475,000, $499,000, or even higher, they're not just looking at the listing price, they're looking at these closed sales also. And that creates a gap. Now let's talk about something like 745 Barrett Way at $499,900. That's a solid property, good size, good layouts, awesome location, sitting on one of the most competitive price ranges in the market. And when buyers compare this one to recent sales in the low mid 400s, they might hesitate. But this one's got more to offer because there's something that clearly justifies the price, the views, the location, the upgrades, the strong rental potential, and they will stretch to meet it. That's why we're still seeing most homes close between 3 and 5% of the list price. That's not a sign of a declining market, it's a sign of a negotiating market. Buyers are using data. Sellers who align with data are getting deals done. Sellers who aren't are just sitting. Now let's talk about the price per square foot because this is one of the biggest drivers behind buyer decisions right now. Most of the market is still landing in the low 400s price per square foot. That is your baseline. If you've got something above that, buyers expect a reason for it. They're looking for either lake views, proximity to the water, strong Airbnb income potential, or a fully turnkey product. Their offers back towards that average. And that's where you start to see the friction between buyers and sellers. Now, another thing we're seeing right now is the widening gap between average properties and standout properties. In a hot market, Everything kind of moves together. But in this market, the differences are amplified. The good homes stand out a little bit more, and the average homes get exposed a lot faster. So if you're a seller, this is where positioning becomes very critical. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to be competitive. Because if you're even slightly off on price, condition, or presentation, you're going to feel it in the days on market. And speaking of that, we're still seeing homes average well over 100 days in many cases. That's not an outlier anymore, that's the pace. And once a home crosses that 60, 90, 120 day mark, it starts to lose leverage. Buyers begin to question it. Even if nothing is technically wrong, perception becomes reality. And that's why pricing strategy matters so much right now. Because in this market, you don't get rewarded for testing the market. You get rewarded for aligning with it. Now let's shift to buyers, because this is still a very strong window if you're looking to purchase. Inventory is high, competition is low, and sellers are negotiating. That competition creates opportunity, especially when you start looking at properties that have been sitting for a while. Anything that's been on the market for 60, 90, 120 days, that's where flexibility starts to show up. Not always obvious, but it is there. Now, that doesn't mean that every seller is desperate. The well-positioned homes, the ones with strong locations, views, or rental potential, those are still holding their value. But the average listings, that's where negotiation is happening. That's where buyers can ask for credits, push on the price, and structure better terms. And that's really the strategy right now. It's not about going after everything, it's about identifying where value and motivation overlap. That's where the best purchases are happening. For sellers, the message is pretty straightforward. You don't have to chase the market, but you do have to respect it. Holding on to old expectations or hoping that spring demand is somehow going to fix pricing issues is not going to work. Spring does bring more buyers, but it also brings more listings. So instead of solving competition, it often increases it. If your home has been sitting since winter, waiting longer isn't creating leverage. It's doing the opposite. Now, when you zoom out, the overall theme hasn't changed. This is a balanced market that leans slightly towards buyers. Sellers who are strategic on pricing, presentation, and timing are still getting deals done. Sellers who are testing the market are seeing longer timelines. Buyers have leverage, but the smart ones aren't just throwing out low offers everywhere. They're watching the data, they're understanding value, and they're moving when the numbers make sense. So there is no crash, there is no spike, there's no dramatic shift coming out of nowhere. It's just a steady market that's rewarding strategy over hope. And honestly, that's not a bad thing, because it creates clarity, it creates opportunity, and it allows people who are paying attention to make really strong decisions. If you are thinking about buying, selling, or just trying to understand where your property fits in today's market, that's where having a plan really matters. Not guesswork, not assumptions, actual data, actual positioning, actual strategy. And if you want help breaking that down, I'm always here to have that conversation. If you want to stay ahead of what's happening in Big Bear, make sure you are following along, because I'll keep putting these updates out there so that you're not reacting to the market, you're ahead of it. I'm Rachael Smith with REMAX in Big Bear. Talk to you soon. Bye.